If English grammar sometimes feels like a secret code, you are definitely not alone. We've already conquered the basics like some and any, but today we're leveling up. We're diving straight into the really nuanced world of intermediate quantifiers. Basically, these are the precise little words we use to express small amounts, sufficient amounts, and parts of a whole.
So I have to ask, can a single letter literally change your entire social life? I know, it sounds a bit dramatic, right? But seriously, in English, a tiny, seemingly insignificant grammatical shift can completely flip the emotional tone of your sentence. We aren't just tweaking quantities here, we're changing the entire vibe of a conversation, going from happy and satisfied straight to lonely and broke.
Okay, here's our game plan for this explainer. First up, we'll explore the magic letter A. Second, hitting the sweet spot. And third, the whole and half.
All right, jumping into section 1, the magic letter A. Let's look at positive versus negative meanings. Okay, so when we're dealing with plural countable nouns, things you can physically count like apples or days, we use a few or a few. Now, a few carries a really positive meaning. It basically means some or enough. It's a good thing. But if you drop that letter A and just say few, boom, you instantly create a negative meaning. It translates to not many or almost none.
Let's look at the real-world stakes here, because they're actually pretty funny. Imagine you say, I have a few friends in the city. You're communicating a really positive social situation. You're happy, you've got some friends to hang out with, but drop the A and say, I have few friends in the city. And man, the emotional tone just plummets. You're suddenly telling people you are lonely and you don't have enough friends. So yeah, that one tiny letter is literally the difference between a fun weekend and sitting at home alone.
And guess what? This exact same positive to negative rule applies to uncountable nouns too, things like water, air, or time. So a little carries a positive meaning. It means you have some or enough water in your glass. But plain old little all by itself, that's negative. It means not much or almost none. This perfectly illustrates why getting this tiny detail right is so absolutely crucial for clear communication. Let's talk about money. If you tell a friend, hey, I have a little money, that is positive news. It means you've got enough to grab a coffee together. But if you say, I have little money, well, this situation is pretty bleak. You literally cannot afford anything. Honestly, one letter is the difference between a caffeine boost and an empty stomach. Moving right along to section 2, hitting the sweet spot. We're talking about enough and plenty of. So the word enough just means you have a sufficient amount. Now, it works with both countable and uncountable nouns, but its placement, that can really trip people up. Honestly, just follow these 2 bulletproof rules. Step 1, put enough before a noun. For example, we have enough food. Step 2, put enough after an adjective. For example, is this box big enough? So before nouns, after adjectives. Memorize that little pattern and you're totally set. But what if you have more than just a sufficient amount? What if you've got this abundant supply? Well, that's exactly where plenty of comes in. We use it when you have more than enough, and it just gives off this really great vibe of abundance. Like if someone's stressing out, you can just tell them, hey, don't rush, we have plenty of time. Or if you're hosting a party, come on in, there are plenty of chairs. It's just a fantastic, really reassuring quantifier. All right, bringing us to section 3, the whole and half. Let's break down all, both, and half. So when we talk about the absolute entirety of a group, the full 100%, we use all. But there is a secret rule here that you absolutely must remember. We only use all when we're referring to a group of 3 or more items. So if you say all the students passed the test, that means 100% of the class, assuming the class has at least 3 students in it. Make sense, right? Then, of course, we have half, which strictly refers to exactly 50% of something. It's a very precise part of a whole. Think of the most relatable example possible, right? I ate half of the pizza. You had a whole, and you consumed exactly 50% of it. No mystery there. Which brings us to a very, very strict English rule regarding the number 2. Remember that secret rule about all? Well, when you are talking about 100% of a group, but that group consists of exactly 2 items, you cannot use all. No way. You must use both. For instance, you wouldn't say, all my parents are teachers, because you only have 2 parents, right? So you must say, both of my parents are teachers. It's a small detail, but it's a real game changer. And that brings us to the end of this explainer. But I want to leave you with a question. As you practice your English grammar moving forward, will you make few mistakes or a few mistakes? Think about it for a second.
If you say you will make a few mistakes, well, you're saying you'll make some mistakes. But if you promise to make few mistakes, you are promising to make almost none. I definitely hope it's the latter for you. Keep practicing, always look out for that magic letter A, and as always, keep learning.